Anyway, alright guys, how you going again? It's Smuggler here. I'm going to be doing another replay cast, helpful hints, tips and tricks video. This one is going to be a in-depth look. It's going to be a replay coach, so I'm going to be going over a lot of stuff the people involved should be doing, when they should be doing it, why they should be doing certain things. It is a team game. It is for Learn Dota 2 Spring League. And the main person, or the captain, I guess you could say, that's asking me to look at this, I offered to look, but he said I could do it, is Fedorable, and he's captain of Flashpoint. Now, I don't want to ruin anything, but yes, they did lose both of their games. I honestly can say that there is a lot of room for improvement, but there is a glimmer of some good plays there and some good decision making, and so hopefully this helps out and I can actually see some improvement in the next game that I watch. Maybe you guys start winning some games. So anyway, let's get into this straight away. I've even got like 2 pages of notes for you guys, so hopefully this helps you out a fair bit. Hopefully you learn some things from this, and let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to break this down pretty easily. It's going to be 3 or 4 different things straight off the bat. I'm not going to get any broadcast because saves it.
Dire team ban.
It's hilarious.
Radiant team
I'm going
ban.
to focus on the first part, which is the draft, and I'm going to go through some things that
Dire
you
team
probably
ban.
start looking at when you are drafting, because as if you were to look at 2 teams of equal skill, you could literally say like 98% of whether or not one team would win over the other is the draft. 2% is usually just some pure fluke if they're both of equal skill, which never happens, rarely. If it does, it usually goes to like 5 games out of the best of 5, and the last one is just amazing. Cough, cough, TI. But I'm going to focus on this draft at the moment. Your first 2 bans were Invoker and OD. When you're banning your first 2 bans, usually you should be looking at a tier 1 ban, which is a top pick. So tier 1 picks in this meta are Earth Spirit, OD, Invoker, Death Prophet, Spectre, Sven probably, but you never really ban him because you can always deal with him. They're usually the top tier bans and picks, but you never see a team who has first pick ban out 2 of the tier 1 top tier, which is OD, Invoker and Spec. You never see someone who has first pick ban out 2 of them, because now all that's left is pretty much Spectre or say Earth Spirit, and you've given out 2 bans to the opposition team. They can get rid of them themselves. So you usually, if you're first pick, you want to leave at least 2 of the top tier picks in the pool still, because then you're forcing them to either take them out and waste 2 bans on top tier picks that maybe had nothing to do with their draft, or you're forcing them to waste bans on stuff that some maybe was not going to be any use against their draft. So usually I can understand the Invoker ban, because unless you have a really good Invoker player on your team, it's usually quite core to get rid of. But the OD ban is not the best. If you had left that and you had gotten rid of, say, maybe an Enchantress, or probably a Vengeful Spirit or a Lion, something that can roam if you're looking at a draft. Oh, which reminds me, you've mentioned many a time that you're dealing with a limited hero pool among your team, which I know is something from experience that can be quite annoying, especially if you have certain players in your team that literally can play like 5 heroes to a competitive level well. So to this kind of competitive level, and then it's quite hard to really organise a draft around them. But the other thing about that is that it's comfort picks. They know exactly how to play the hero. They know exactly what they should be doing. scratch that. They kind of know exactly what they should be doing. So if you do have people that have comfort picks and they're not core roles, so say they're a support, or say they're like an offlaner, and the offlaner only plays Beastmaster and Tidehunter, it doesn't matter if you pick them every game, because they're going to be picks that they're very comfortable with playing. They can play around them. You can draft a team around them, and they're not necessarily counterable in the fully macro sense. Yes, they might be counterable in the micro sense in the lane, you know, with Tidehunter and Beastmaster, but you can easily zone them out if you have quite a defensive tri-lane or an aggressive defensive tri-lane. But in the macro sense, good at team fights, good at pushing, good at single target lockdown, good at AoE reduction, like you can work them into pretty much any single draft you have. In saying that, if you have a core player like a mid or a carry that literally can play 2 heroes, then you really need to look at forcing them to start expanding their hero pool. Because if you have a player like that can only play like 2 heroes, sure, if they play them to like a fucking 7k level, then that's fine. But at this level, then you really have to start looking at what heroes can they play to a degree that we can really, or what heroes can they play that will fit into pretty much most drafts to some degree. So it's quite hard, I know, but then again, as a captain, as a drafter, you kind of need to be able to work around those things. I'll get going again.
Radiant
so
team
I've
ban.
got through your first 2 bans. You really shouldn't be banning our top tier straight off the bat, or at least 2 of them straight off the bat. Their first picks are roamers and really
Dire
good
team
gankers
pick.
on mid, and really good rotation experts. So Earth Spirit is great at rotating into every single freaking lane. Like level 2 on him and you can get a kill pretty much everywhere. Bounty Hunter is really good at roaming into the mid and into the safe lane, especially when you have supports rotating out of those lanes. Bounty Hunter rotates in and provides a power
10
spike for
seconds
the
remaining.
resonant laner. So for example, say someone
5
has
seconds
a
remaining.
skill shot or something along those lines, Janada sets that
Reserve
up quite well,
time.
or Rolling Boulder sets that up quite well. So by
Radiant
having those 2
team
banned
pick.
out, you can automatically go, they're not going to be going a very skirmishy. Their front, middle and back lines are very going to be set. They know exactly where they should be, and they know exactly what heroes they want in those positions and how they're going to play. So their playstyle is straight off the bat really easy to see. They're going to have a very big teamfight ult dependent lineup, or at least relatively large
seconds
team fighting
remaining.
lineup. They're not exactly going to be pushers.
Radiant team pick.
They might be split pushers, but they could necessarily be a 5-man push, because Bounty Hunter is not necessarily
Dire
really
team
good
pick.
against a 5-man push. So straight off the bat, you pick Nature's Prophet. That is a fine pick. In this meta, that is a great pick, because with level 1 Treants, you can pretty much harass out any defensive support that tries to harass you. And he's very good at securing his farm. He can do whatever he wants all over the map, and he can rotate very well. You pretty much
Dire team ban.
you've won the draft so far, because you've got
Radiant
Nature's
team
Prophet, who
ban.
has great push as well as single target damage, as well as large good AO, like global ult, as well as he can go anywhere at any time when it's off cooldown with his teleport. And then you've countered their Darkseer pick with an Oracle pick. So
10
now
seconds
Darkseer can't do
remaining.
anything in lane. He shouldn't have been able to do anything in lane.
5 seconds remaining.
He shouldn't have been able to do anything in lane. Because
Reserve time.
Oracle completely counters him in lane. Like, that's just amazing. He's not going to be able to do anything. And if you really wanted to, you could put the Nature's Prophet in the safe lane, go aggro trialing with an Oracle who's an amazing in aggro trialing, and you can completely shut down the Darkseer with those first 2 picks. Those first 2 picks were amazing in my head. I thought, like, straight off the bat, that was really well done.
Dire
Vengeful
team
Spirit
ban.
can kind of provide problems for Nature's Prophet because of the vision the Wave of Terror can give, so you can kind of catch him in Sprout. You can swap him out with Break his TP 2 ways once you get level 6. And the
Radiant
negative
team
damage
ban.
aura is really good if he kills you, since he has relatively high base damage if you get it like level 4 or level 5. So those 2 picks of yours are really good. The bans, on the other hand, you went ahead and took out Spectre. That's fine, okay? You've taken out Spectre. You know what? That if Spectre's really hard to play against, if you're not wanting to run him, if you're not wanting to play him in your draft, then you necessarily say, yeah, I've got to get rid of him. But the DP ban wasn't really needed because you have two heroes that work incredibly well with DP. So you can't, and they work incredibly well against DP. For example, DP has to commit to a lane. When she wants to push, when she wants to move, she has to commit to that lane. So she pops her ult, she goes to the lane, maybe there's a skirmish or a team fight, she pops her ult, and then she commits to that lane. Nature's Prophet is great because as soon as she commits to a lane, boom, he goes to another lane, starts pushing that in. Yes, maybe she's going to take a tower, but if here's a TP, he TPs down to that lane, pushes that in, and as soon as you want to engage on the lane that Death Prophet is committing to, he can global teleport in after his ult. And now all of a sudden you've got, tree ants everywhere, and you've got Oracle on top of that, healing and taking away damage. So I don't understand that ban. That ban to me was not the best ban. You have to think about what these heroes are going to be doing. Against you, not much. Like, yes, it's going to be able to push, but then you've got everything to deal with. With you, on the other hand, DP would have been amazing. Oracle ult means DP, even if she's on like no HP, you ult her and her spirits are still going to be doing an intense amount of damage. Plus, if her spirits come back in while your ult is up, you literally can't die from the amount of healing that she gets from that. Plus, then you add on effect Fortune's End, you have spirits in Sprout, because the spirits will just keep attacking through Sprout. You have the rotational ability of Nature's Prophet with Spirit Siphon, DP slow and pure damage. Spirit Siphon, which is just insane because all of a sudden you start Spirit Siphoning, throw off a Crypt Swarm, Nature's Prophet teleports in, Oracle's Fortune End comes across from out of the fog. You've got a dead mid and it doesn't matter who you are. So you have great synergy there, and you've just banned out something that even provided you with better synergy. Your micro synergy is so far not very good between Nature's and Oracle, but once you add a DP in it, your micro synergy is amazing. You've got all these little combinations that you can do with just two heroes from either one. So I don't necessarily say that was I really think that you guys could have done a lot more in this game if you had
10 seconds
a DP.
remaining.
Plus, if you let them pick the DP, you can just
5
pick a puck.
seconds remaining.
Like, you have control in Oracle and you have rotational ability
Reserve
in
time.
Prophet. You pick a puck into a DP, the silence comes out, he can break the Spirit Siphon with Orb, he's not going to get damaged with Crypt Swarm because he can dodge it. He's going to equal out the lane, which is pretty much what most people can do unless you get rotations in. So he's not going to lose the lane.
Radiant team pick.
And he's definitely going to do something against. Plus, Puck provides a lot of control because you just ult her and then your team backs off. She's not able to move away from that spot for 4 or so seconds unless she wants to take a 2-second stun, which sets up skill shots, which sets up the ability to position your team correctly. So you got to start thinking about those things. The bans on their side were just freaking ridiculous. I understand the Drow, but the Zeus is just
10 seconds remaining.
In saying that, you guys
5 seconds
with
remaining.
the first two picks, and then I think you went a Lion next. I'm pretty sure you went a Lion.
Dire team pick.
Pretty sure you went a Lion. Have a look.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay.
Radiant team
Right
pick.
now, you have the beginnings of an incredibly good skirmishing lineup. Like, you guys should be fighting from minute 1, or close to minute 1. If you have someone else in here, who do you bring in last? I think you've got a Sven here. Oh yeah, 100%. You guys have a great skirmishing lineup. You guys should be fighting very
10
early.
seconds
Ancient
remaining.
Apparition doesn't really do anything much until he gets his ult.
5
Yeah, he's got
seconds
chilling
remaining.
touch, which is great, but you're going to stun him, control him. You've got, at the moment, you've got 3
Reserve
control
time.
abilities, and you can purge off chilling touch with Fortune's End as well. So he's not going to be able to, and in the lane, he's not going to be able to do anything. Chilling touch, yeah, great. Purge it off from the main damage dealer. What do you got? you know, or you just put, I forgot what it's called, Fate's Edict, and the chilling touch damage does nothing because it's magical. So all they're doing is taking
Dire
physical
team
damage.
pick.
You understand? Like so if we looked at that, say that was a defensive tri lane, as soon as they picked the Ancient Apparition, you should have realised that right there, though the combination is quite annoying, you know, Vengeful Spirit stun into Ancient Apparition Cold Feet, I get that, then you have an Oracle. Like, you completely negate everything they can do to control you in lane. As soon as Vengeful Spirit stuns an Ancient Apparition Cold Feet, you just Fate's Edict, or you Fortunes end the hero. Like, you've won the draft so badly at the moment. I don't even understand. Like, you have destroyed them. Oracle destroys Darkseer. She destroys Ancient Apparition. Line controls the fuck out of any tri-lane that you're going into. Nature's Prophet is great global. The only option I can see with the Templar Assassin is that she's going to blow up people. But you have everything in your 3 picks at this stage to win this game. And you should have been looking, I'll get this right now, the one thing you don't have, which you need to address quite quickly, is looking from an offlane perspective. You have no initiation. None. Like, unless Lion gets a blink before 10 minutes, or before 15 minutes, you have no initiation. Right? So, where's your initiation come? Where's your catch going to come from? Where's your blink, stun, blink, leap, blink, hex, blink, something or other, or even sudden appearance of an invis hero? It doesn't even matter. Where's your initiation going to come from? So at the moment, you've great control, you've great lane presence, you've great global presence, you've pretty much won like any kind of composition you've got there. So now you need to look at catch and initiation past the first 10 minutes of the game, or once you kind of get level 6 or critical peak power on the hero that's going to be initiating. So you've got an offlaner straight away, Nature's Prophet. You've got your 2 supports, so now you need someone who can initiate in your mid, someone who can initiate as a carry. You pick Sven. Sven can't really initiate, I mean, yes, with Stormbolt, but Temper Assassin can dodge it with Meld. Ancient Apparition, they'll just disengage and leave her to die because there's no point. Or use AA's Cold Feet on Sven and you're kind of like, eh. So I'm just kind of wondering, where's your initiation going to come from once you pick the Sven? There's nothing there that gives you initiation, gives you catch, gives you control, apart from Blink Lion. Or maybe Blink Hex on Nature's Prophet. Or Blink Sprout, I guess. Doesn't make sense. So you've got what you need, but you need
10
more.
seconds remaining.
So looking forwards, you get the Sven here, I'm pretty sure.
5 seconds remaining.
This kind of lineup you've got going with the Sven is amazing because you go
Reserve
aggro try.
time.
The only thing they can do now to defend against that aggro try is to go something that can survive in a solo lane, and then you have because actually they can't even do a solo lane because they have an Ancient Apparition. Ancient Apparition relies upon the fact that he can control his jungle and he can control his lane with the help of a carry and a second support. You don't ever have an Ancient Apparition and another hero, unless that hero is like like a Quap or something, or someone who doesn't need the Ancient Apparition and the Ancient Apparition can just go pull and get experience like that. But then when you have an aggressive tri-lane, the Ancient Apparition can't pull because
Radiant
you
team
then
back.
go move towards the pull and you kill him. And then he can't stay in lane because now he's sapping XP from the carry hero and you kill him in lane. And then you add on another defensive support with that, or aggressive defensive support like Vengeful Spirit, and now
10
they
seconds
have
remaining.
to tri-lane. They have to defensive tri-lane. They can't do anything else. There's no going
5
aggressive
seconds
tri-lane.
remaining.
Yes, you can go Chilling Touch with the Ancient Apparition, but he's so squishy.
Dire
You
team
need
back.
1 or 2 control and a little bit of damage, and the person, he's wiped off the face of the earth. So just from looking at that, I would have gone aggressive tri-lane from
Radiant
Nature's Prophet
team
against
pick.
Darkseer, which you would have won easily, because Nature's Prophet, like, right-click damage is crazy. Yes, the Darkseer would have got a little bit of farm, but so would the Nature's Prophet, and he would have been a lot safer. and you would have shut down their lane. Like Oracle, so you go Earth Spike, Fortune's End, charges up Fortune's End, Earth Spike, 1.1 second stun plus a bit of damage. Sven hits him for a little bit. Fortune's End goes out, takes away Chilling
10
Touch, or takes
seconds
away Cold
remaining.
Feet, or whatever you want from that. You get one Purifying
5
Flame
seconds
straight off
remaining.
the bat. Stun comes out, Purifying Flames again. There's no way any hero you initiate
Reserve time.
on at level 1 even would survive that combination, including right clicks. Plus, Oracle has like the 3rd longest attack range in the game, so harass is going to be very easy for him. So I don't. If you went aggro try here, I'm pretty sure they picked up a Slark. Yeah. If you went aggro try here, that's
Dire
it. You
team
won
pick.
because cleave. So you go 1 point and then max your cleave and your Warcry. Slark does nothing, right? With Warcry max Warcry and cleave, he can't go near the creep wave because cleave is pure damage, right? So it's going to be hurting him even more early game. He can't, yes, you're going to push the lane, but once you push the lane, you've got creeps under the tower, you can initiate on the support.
10 seconds remaining.
To me, you've won the draft so well if you went aggressive trialing. Even if you
5
went
seconds
defensive,
remaining.
you can go Oracle Sven and let the line roam, and you're pretty much set. There's not much you can
Reserve
do.
time.
Now, they have one hard CC in lane, which is the Vengeful Spirit stun. Then they have the Pounce and Cold Feet. Cold Feet is a setup one. So you pretty much, you're winning in control at the moment. I don't really count Vacuum until it's like level 4, because level 1 Vacuum is horrendous. Level 2 is even worse, considering the mana increase, pretty sure. I've forgotten how much, whether or not they nerfed that. But nonetheless, you guys have been, I feel you guys have outdrafted them. If you're both equal skill level, and you knew what you guys should be doing. So in my eyes, you guys have outdrafted them, and I'm pretty sure most 4K players like me would be able, or 4.5K, but anyway, would be able to say, yes, you've outdrafted them. The Slark is going to be a problem if he gets farmed. The Temper Assassin is going to be an issue, but you have enough in your lineup to be able to deal with them. Even if Slark gets huge, it's going to be a bit of a problem. But you've got Queen of Pain with a lot, like high pure damage AoE with ult and her scream. Excuse me, let me get a beer. You have line with Earth Spike, Hex Blink Initiation, which was pretty much like, okay, think late game. Slark's super fat. You have a blink on Lion and a blink on Sven. Alright, that's it. You have nothing really much else. You've got a little bit of damage on Sven, maybe a Sanjin, Yasha and a Helm. Lion has fuck all. Oracle has fuck all. Right? Slark's farming away in a lane. You blink Hex, right click. Sven blinks in and hits him a couple of times. Oracle starts charging up Fortune's End. Right? Then as soon as the Hex ends, say you're level 3 Hex, you Earth Spike, right? Fortune's End hits, but before Fortune's End hits, he Purifying Flames. So now you got 225 damage or 250 damage. 250 damage something nuke, plus another 160. So he's already taking some damage, plus he's still controlled, right? Then you have Sven stun, Queen of Pain blinks in as well, ults and Scream of Pain. Sven stun on top, plus Cleave God Strength, plus Flying Finger. Even if he had a Skadi, a freaking Heart, S and Y, and like something else, the amount of damage you guys can put out just with your abilities alone, right, should be able to deal with it. So Temper Assassin on the other hand would be an issue if she got huge, because she can pretty much one hit Lion and Oracle, and she can force Oracle to use ult apprehensively or defensively on himself or someone else quickly, which then forces a reset of the fight. But the only issue I see in this whole team composition that's lined up against you is the Temper Assassin. If she gets huge, then there's a problem. But apart from that, you guys drafted really, really well, and then you decided to play the game, which was, if you just left it at that, and you guys would have been fine. But nonetheless, we'll get into the second stage of this video right now, and
Prepare for battle.
we will talk about the first thing that I usually talk about when doing a replay coach is, what are your goals? Okay, when I load in and we're talking, and me and my team are talking, we're straight away talking about what needs to happen before our times. So like, I'm going to go put a pull wood in, then I'm rotating through to the bottom rune. What are we doing? 3 contest top or 4 contest top? 3 contest top. I'll get the second support down, and then if we know we can't take it, he can go back and block the wave for mid before rotating up top. Oh, okay, so we've got a roaming support. Well, he can block the wave for mid, sit mid, and look for maybe a level 1 kill if it's an Earth Spirit or if it's a bounty hunter or something like that. So your goals should be a lot further forward, and you should be building towards that. You guys got so much freaking regen, I am not even like finding it funny. You should not need that much regen. Like, yeah, I get it, if you're going into the off lane you might need a bit of regen, but your supports, unless they're doing an aggro tri lane, you should not need that much regen. Like, I think you guys got like a salve, a freaking fairy fire, tango, and something. Like, you don't need that. You need your wards, you need your sentries, because going back to that point, you need to be thinking ahead. Excuse me. Meld dodges Shadow Strike, but all you need, sentry mid. That's it. Sentry mid, boom. Now your Queen of Pain's won the lane, if you're both of equal level. If they're both of equal level, your Queen of Pain has won the lane easily, because level 1 Shadow Strike will take away Refraction very easily. Couple more hits and she's gone. You have a Null Talisman, which means your damage is actually pretty decent. Why am I still on Pudge? That's really weird. Let's go play. Here we go. I'm pretty sure she buys a Null Talisman. So you have a high damage output. You have like 58, I think, 58 damage. Whatever. Also, you need Fairy Fires in lane as a Queen of Pain, because with Scream of Pain, 7-second cooldown, you jump, scream, dagger, and then you right click a couple of times for the kill. But if they can turn and get a stun off, and then all of a sudden a rotation comes in and you're looking at dying, a Fairy Fire can usually keep you just alive long enough for your blink to come back off a cooldown, or for your Scream of Pain to come back off a cooldown. So like, 6 to 15, so blink, yeah, probably not your blink, but definitely your Scream of Pain to finish off someone. So you probably should have started with 2 Fairy Fires, 2 Pull Tangos, and the Null Tally. That would have been a really, really good starting build, unless you wanted to rush bottle, then the 2 Fairy Fires and 2 Pull Tangos and no Null, and then you rush your bottle. You should have started with, I don't know if you guys pick, but usually the position 5 goes sentries, wards, and pulls the tangos. The position 4 goes courier, and usually what he needs to be more active on the map. So you should have sentries, because thinking ahead, you need to give a sentry to mid so she can win the lane. That's the kind of thought, that process that should be happening. Okay, I wouldn't necessarily say that's a good build. I would really have gone boots first, because again, look at your lane. Who will you be facing? You'll be facing Ancient Apparition, Vengeful, and Slark. You need to be able to be a little bit more maneuverable in lane, because if you get pounced on, you're fucked, or if you get stunned, you're fucked. You understand? So boots first means you can survive past level 1. If you had boots first, the deaths that happened here wouldn't have happened, and you need to be more proactive. That goes. Oh, the other big thing is, you should know what you need to buy straight off the bat. Like, you should be talking about that usually in the last, because the last pick usually quite contentious, but you should know the first 4 picks, which means at least 4 players should start thinking about what they need for their lane and what they're going into. So you really shouldn't be taking 15, or actually no, 30 seconds to get out of base, especially in a tournament game, or well, a league game, I guess you could call it. So in saying that, you guys need to be a lot more quicker, but you're you're doing well. Like the draft was quite good. I like the draft. I do think that you guys should have gone aggro tri-lane. If you guys went aggro tri-lane, you would have completely shut them down. Like 1 point in stun, max cleave, max war cry, Fortune's End with Fate's Edict to level 2, and then get Purifying Flames. You destroy them. They wouldn't be able to do anything because you can control them and do everything you need to. You also have in the presence, your level 1 is insane, so you should have thought about maybe smoking and rotating, because say you get a stun on the Slark and then you just right click kill him, get in front of him, stop his leap away, right click kill him, right, done. If they're all kind of there, you just transfer the next CC or the next hard control you have onto the next hero. All of a sudden you've got 2 heroes that are taking damage, one's dead already, you've got gold for everybody, and the next one's taking damage, and you've controlled a rune spot. So with the amount of stuns and damage like Dagger, Impale, Sven Stun, Fortune's End, and Sprout, no, not probably Sprout, but you could definitely go level 1. I would, unless when Chilling Touch, but then you could probably return focus, like reset focus onto the Ancient Apparition. But both mids get the runes, which is fine.
Worthy tribute.
One of your supports should really be like sitting. So, oh, okay, I forgot to say this. One of your supports, if you're not smoking and if you're not doing anything active before the level 1 rune spawns, you need to do this. Your position 4 should be moving as soon as he buys his shit up here, right? He should literally run from like the minute, what is it, the negative minute 16 mark, buys his shit and gets here as quick as possible. Right here. This is where he needs to be. Right? Right there. Because unless he's there, they can easily just do this and place a pull. Your position 5, I remember that. I'll go back over that in a second. Your position 5 should usually go for a rune or a aggressive rune for the offlane, or a defensive rune for the mid. Usually for Dire, the defensive rune is top, aggressive rune is bottom, and vice versa.
Worthy tribute.
I actually think Radiant has better advantage in the Dire's defensive rune, but in saying that, it's a bit of iffy, but you'd give it to Dire more so because they can control the area a little bit better because of how close their high ground is to the rune spot. This one is usually the most attack ranges for ranged heroes are kind of close, like Wind Ranger and stuff can kind of attack down, but with here you can retreat quite quickly to high ground where you have to kind of go around and move a fair distance, so it's a bit iffy. But, so, position 4 should be moving up here to check to make sure the offlane is not ready for drop, or as he comes up, goes this way, comes down here. If they've smoked and rotated through, he'll break the smoke when he's over here, right? Which means they know, he doesn't really know, so he's probably going to die, but it doesn't matter, like, well, it kind of does matter, but it doesn't matter at the same time, because it's a support, he's a position 4 support. Yes, they're going to get first blood, but it's not carry dying, it's not someone like that. Your position 5 should be moving either for the defensive or aggressive rune, and then he should be going back and blocking the lane for the mid. So once you know you've secured the rune, move back and start blocking. Right, now let's look at first blood. Oh yeah, that's right. Let's go back to this. I don't know what this was. At 0-5, you're moving down here to put a pull ward down, and you even miss. You can press Alt and see the box, and you miss. I don't understand that, dude. The stun comes out. If you put an ice vortex down, you would have been dead then 100%. Like, if he had got ice vortex and that guy had got pounce, stun into ice vortex, he moves forward and blocks you, you would have been dead. So boots would have been amazing there because you would have lived if they actually were a little bit smarter. So that's not going to block. So that's done, I guess. You die. So you're pretty low on health. You have no boots. You've just eaten a tango. You have no vision of your rotation spot for the offlane, safe lane supports, and you're moving into,
Warriors of the
like,
wood.
This is just ridiculous. You shouldn't even be going that close.
Approach me.
Okay. Okay, so as an offlaner, unless you have vision here and you
Boots
see
uproots me.
everybody, going that close to the lane is just like, yeah, okay, you're gonna die. There's nothing you can do about that because that moving that close to the wave for a last hit with like what, half HP or a bit less than half HP, it's not exactly the best idea. You have no ward here as well to see the pulls and positioning and that kind of stuff. So when you have Nature's Call, back up again. What you need to do is you need to Nature's Call these trees. Send one of the creeps here, usually just in here, so it blocks their pull. It means they have to take a lot of time to like kill the creep because 550 health is actually a lot for them to deal with when they're only at what, 48. So it's not like they can kill it straight off the bat. You now break the trees here, which gives you straight vision into here when you're about here, and usually when you're about here, you can see there. Then your next ones are going to be there, because since it comes up every 37 seconds, and trees will spawn randomly between 3 to 5 minutes, you literally have a minute, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes of free vision through this area here. And then maybe 1.5 minutes of semi-free vision through most of this area here. You can also use it to break the. So what you do is you go Nature's Call there, and then use the
after
to
them.
pull the heavies back. You're not using your micro controls.
Invisibility.
Moving down this way, I'll go in. I've got a huge offlane guide coming up since I am 4.5k offlaner, so I know what I'm talking about here. But this again, I don't understand. Like, he could have killed you then. You're only level 1. Anyway, so in saying that, the offlane kind of did, apart from his horrible start, your offlaner did really, really well early game. Like, not early game, but from about 5.5 minutes onwards, he started to really make some moves. He was pressuring some lanes, but in saying that, you kind of lost the game when you rotated down. I don't know whether he was like, oh, I can't lane, rah, 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 it's so hard. Then you're in the off lane. You have treants. You have a camp that you can go stack and pull, and this is just, I don't even want to talk about this. But in saying that, right here,
I will
if there's an
rise
off lane
next
next to
season.
you have treants, which means you can get farm no matter what you're doing. If you're dying in lane, leave the lane, force the supports out of the lane, then rotate your supports into the lane and go for kill on the solo slot. It's stuff that you kind of, you know, that kind of stuff. You kind of went straight back to lane. You got level 2, which is good.
Pull roots and run.
Do a lot more in the lane. They don't know how to static farm, but they are pulling, which is good. If you're just feeding treants now,
Nice try.
you're just giving him free farm. But you can't do that. Your treants are very precious. They harass the supports, they give you vision, they do a lot. Now you're going to be, you know, 15, 16 seconds without treants. You guys don't have a ward on the...
Dire's middle tower is under
one
attack.
ward? No. Oh, Lion has the other ward. Okay. Did he buy that recently? Sure. I hope he bought that at the start.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Where did you guys put your other ward?
No.
I can't remember. I've got notes here, but anyway. Oh, what the fuck is this? Oh, right. Yes, sorry, mid. I forgot about that. Okay, so I've kind of covered a little bit on the offlaner. He doesn't need to do a lot of work on his Nature's Prophet. Like, yeah, you're going to take some damage, but turn. He's got creeps right after him. Turn, set your treants on him, right click and come times. Yeah, you're going to go down to maybe 300, 200 HP. You've got freaking like a full 3 stack of creeps on him, plus you're right clicking him with 62 damage. You will hurt him a lot. Like a freaking huge amount. So turn, be a bit more aware of what you can do. But in saying that, I will now talk about your mid. He did some really, really good things in the middle of the later game, or saying later. It kind of ended within, what was it, 34 minutes or something? Yeah, 28. But I don't understand his build. If you could please, if you do watch this and you get all the way up to here and you're not put off or you're not hating on me for whatever reason, if you could ask him why he went built like that, and if he ever wants any help with Queen of Pain builds and how he should be building, like, this is an off-lane build. Even off-laners usually only get like 2 points in Shadow Strike.
Oh,
I'm just not
that
gonna,
hardly
I'll talk
hurt
about it
at
in a
all.
second. So, yes, you're up against a Temper Assassin, but you don't need to be. Which, by the way, this Temper Assassin didn't even get meld, so there's even no need for a Sentry Ward. Oh, painful. But in saying that, like, you really only need 2 points in Shadow Strike. You go 2-1-4-1. That should be your build. That's your highest DPS potential for the lowest level. You go 2-1-4-1. That's what you go, because when you're versing a TA and you've got a sentry in mid, let me just say that. Say you're both level 6 and you've got a sentry in mid. She's used refraction, right? And you know she's just used refraction, and so it's on cooldown. You shadow strike her, right? Hit her a couple of times, refraction's gone. As she's running away, you blink ahead of her, scream of pain. Since she's got no refraction, she's going to tank pretty much all of it. She's only got like 800, well, she's got treads now, but without the tread, she's only got like, what was it, like 600 something HP? 700, 720, I think, without treads and without stick. And that does like 300 damage. And then you ult her, right? And right click her some more while the shadow strike's slowing her down. And then by the time she should be dead. There shouldn't be anything more from that. So I don't understand. I think you even went like 4-4, like 2 or something. I don't exactly remember. But your build really wasn't the best for this. You could have done so much more. Like, it's a freaking 300 damage, 475 radius, Nukon 7 cooldown. Like, you blink into 2 supports and you hit that with an ult and they're dead. You've basically got a double kill for 3 button presses. So, build on. Like, she's max refraction, so you're only going to do. Yep, there we go. There we go. There we go. So you still get rid of refraction, but it takes the whole dagger, which means she takes no damage. So when you dagger her, you have to go aggressive. You have to hit her like 2 or 3 times, take away the instances, so she takes damage from the dagger, and you're forcing her out of the lane. And then when you take away refraction, you blink aggressively on her, and she's done. So
Denied.
in talking about the build, that's kind of how you should be playing. You should be moving more aggressively, knowing your skills a little bit better, and building correctly. In saying that, you really need to work on your last hitting. Like, you have high last hit potential very early on, like 78, nearly 80 damage, and I think you were like, hold on, let's have a look. Last hit's nice. You're on 17 at 10 minutes. Shouldn't really be happening. Yes, she has refraction, but as soon as she has no range. So she moves in with refraction to last hit, right? Because she's got max refraction, or at least maybe 3 points in refraction, I don't know why she would, but 3 points in refraction, and maybe 1-2 points in side blades, she's going to be quite close to the creep wave. Because you have blink, you can play a little bit more aggressively. You move forward, shadow strike her. Now she's either has to commit to taking the creep, right, which means you get free harass on her, or she backs off, which means you can now last hit or deny whatever creep you want. So when you're thinking and when you're playing like that, there's no way you really should be losing the matchup against a TA if you have a sentry ward. If you don't have a sentry ward, then I can understand how it's going to be a little bit harder, because
Dire's
now just
structures are fortified.
waste all your abilities pretty much because you can't do anything except hit it, take away refraction. So, saying that, you really need to work on your last hitting.
Dire's bottom
and
tower
your,
is under attack.
like how you last hit. Is that? Who's that?
Killing spree.
Let's go look. Mid.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
So I've talked about your playstyle in lane, I've talked about your starting items, I've talked about your last hitting and your build. You should really be asking for that sentry, even though this guy didn't get meld, which I have no idea for. Like, the fact he didn't have meld until like level 8, you should have punished him so hard. Like, he should not get away with it at all, ever. I don't think you guys have even smoked yet. Yeah, you still have 3. Oh no, you smoked here once. Yeah. Especially with a lion and an oracle, your smoke should
Dire's middle tower
huge.
is under
Like,
attack.
you guys can do so much damage in so many different places. What do you... You got no HP, why are you... Anyway, so, I'm going to focus on the supports now, so I apologise for if you guys have been annoyed at how I'm talking, but this is how I try and explain situations I get. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so I talked about the regen. You don't need that kind
Radiant's
of
top
regen.
tower
What
is
I'm
under
going to do,
attack.
and I'm going to talk about where your priorities should be. So I've already talked about your. If you've watched a couple of other remote videos, I talk about how as a support you should be have goals, and you should be really be looking at what you need to be getting from a lane and the questions you should be asking.
Invisibility.
The thing that I need to talk to you guys about is who you prioritize. For example, Sven is obviously going to stay in lane and farm. You have an Oracle who can deal with the Darkseer very, very well. Lion should not even be there. You are splitting XP 3 ways, and you don't need to. Lion should be the one pulling, stacking, moving, rotating, You're taking... So, you should go into your lane knowing exactly who has priority for lane and who doesn't. Yes, Lion has CC, but Oracle in this, even though he's position 5, should have lane control, or should be in the lane, because he can do a lot more to deal with the Darkseer than the Lion can. So now you move back. So you just took harass because you're badly positioned. As soon as the creep wave moves back, you should be back down here behind. Move down, don't right click him until you're past the 250 range of creep. Then you right click. That's how you get your harassing. And then if, say, he puts an ion shell on himself, boom, Fortune's End, no more ion shell. Free harass. Say hello to my little friend, kind of thing. Okay, so for the first 2-3 minutes, there should be pretty much like, for example, as soon as the lane comes up and you know where the lane's going to be, you two should move down here. Oracle should sit here and just right click him. Just sit right there and force him out for the first 2-3 minutes. As soon as the wave comes out, he backs out. All done. Mavel is up. He moves back in. Gets rid of any ion shells on anyone. Fortune's End, Fortune's End, Fortune's End. Oh, you didn't even need it. I guess you got the kill anyway. But still, that was nice. I have a feeling Sven, just from watching the whole game, this Sven was very good in relativity.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He was, yeah. So, once you've got your priorities, you know who should be lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Then you can start being more threatening. For example, with the line always missing, that Darkseer doesn't know what the fuck's going on. With him not knowing what the fuck's going on, he's going to play a lot safer, which means the Oracle could play a lot more aggressive, and the Lion can do what he needs to do and stack. He can pull, he can get experience from pulling. So, for example, say this pull wood, by the way, it's 5 minutes in, this pull wood still hasn't been dewarded. Say this pull wood wasn't there, stack at the 0.53 mark, right? Boom, you've got 2 creep waves there, pull, kill the creeps off, as well as your own creeps are denying, you've got level 2. Like, you haven't even been to a lane, you've got level 2.5. It's so easy. And then you go, so you add 1 minute 40, whatever it is, you move down here and pull these out, so these stack. And then you stack these, then you move over here, play, I don't know, hockey with these or whatever it is, pull them at 53 or 55, sorry, and you move back or stack these at 55. So now you've got double stack here, and you've got double stack here. So within the first 3 minutes, you've double stacked, taken experience, you got level 2.5 or level 2, I guess. You've stacked one camp, and you haven't been seen on the map. So this Darkseer has no idea where you are if he doesn't have a ward. And your Oracle is keeping him at level 1. That's the kind of movements you should be making. Oh yeah, this. So this is what I want to just quickly point out. This comes when you play like a lot more Dota and you start to get a lot better and you start to improve a lot. Blinking aggressively into no vision when you don't really know fully where heroes are is basically putting the noose around your own neck. Yeah, he's low, 3 seconds for refraction, 2 fairy fires and treads. Jesus Christ. You're full HP, but you blink aggressively and you get blown up. You could actually kill him here. Straight away, See, if you had Scream of Pain there, he would have been dead.
Hurt at all.
Like, say, so instead of level freaking 3 and level 2, like, okay, so level 1's fine because the slow, the movement slow is only still 30%, so it's not like something crazy. So level 1 and you've got 2 here. So 2, 1, 2, right there, 132 before he had refraction back up again. If you had Scream, there is no way he would have survived that. And you would have probably got a kill on the Vengeful Spirit as well, if you had Scream. So your build would have been what won you that fight. But because your build was weird, it kind of let you down. Plus also the decision you made to blink across vision, like you ran from there, chased it all the way across, then you blinked, means you've given them like 6.5, 7 seconds to start TPing in. Or at least move across from maybe a camp they were stacking and pulling. Then you blink into an area without vision. It's just the decision making wasn't the best there. Like for example, the way I would have played it. Okay, so you got a bottle charge, that's sweet. You're going for the rune, so does this guy. Stun comes out, nice. Probably don't want to trade that well. Okay, don't. I would not have popped the regen rune. Say I was with your build, grab the regen rune, blinked high ground, and shadow striked. So let's slow this guy down. Okay, this is how I would have played it. So you guys are moving up. Great, sweet. Okay, blink high ground, shadow strike from low ground, right click, which should probably take most of or half of refraction off. Right click again, move, right click again, move, right click again, right. And as soon as it comes off, as soon as you see refraction disappear, I ult, and then right click again, and that would probably kill it. Because like 80% of your shadow strike damage is getting taken away from refraction. So you have to couple that with right clicks, or there's no fucking point to shadow strike. There is none. Because all she's going to do is just take no damage and
that hardly
refraction
hurt
goes.
at all.
So you couple it, shadow strike with right clicks or with creep aggro. If creep aggro is amazing. If you can force her to attack you in creep aggro, you've won the lane because you've got rid of refraction, you've got shadow strike on top, and you're hitting her as well. Easy game. Plus creeps hitting it. Easy game. Okay, so I've gone through all those things. I've looked at your support movements. I'm really only focusing on the first 10-15 minutes because they're usually the most crucial kind of parts of the game. Team fight and execution and initiation and all those things they're a lot higher level skills to start to really indoctrinate into a team and start utilizing in a team, because at this stage, if you win the first 15 minutes, you get your carry farmed, and unless he does something stupid like blink into 5 on 200 HP, you're going to win the game. I'm going to amend that. 80% of the time you're going to win the game. So when I'm doing these replay coaching sessions, I usually talk quite fast, and I usually go bang, 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 and I start trying to get information out and trying to teach you guys certain ways to do things and give you explanations on why things should be done certain ways to help you guys improve and work on certain things. So hopefully this method that I've used helps people, and I hope you guys don't take tone of voice or anything like that in a negative way. I'm just trying to get you guys to improve, because I love it. I absolutely love it. When, for example, I had a team 7 Sins. They were in a tournament in Sri Lanka. They asked me, their mates of mine, they asked me to replay cast a game. They lost the first game, and it got reset. They had to play a second game, but they couldn't because, like, obviously it's Sri Lanka and internet and stuff. So in the meantime, before the next game was set up, which was about a week, they asked me to look at their game, and I gave them some pointers, and then to watch that next game and to see them use those pointers and to absolutely destroy the opponents who previously had beaten them felt amazing. So all I'm trying to do is I really want to see you guys get better. I really want to see you guys improve. So hopefully you take some of what I said to heart, and you guys actually start looking at how you guys should be drafting and how you guys should be moving. I will do the other game as soon as I can. I'm pretty busy this weekend. I've got dates and all kinds of things going on. Hot redhead, yay me. But in saying that, I think you guys should have won with your draft. I don't think there was anything wrong with your draft. I think your draft was actually really good. I think your execution of that draft was severely lacking. So all you guys really need to work... I'm not counting second game in this. Second game draft was really weird. Sorry for dropping. But the first game draft, I really liked, and I thought you did really well in drafting it that way. And I feel you guys should have definitely won it. But skill level and execution really. Hopefully I haven't just talked for hours, and hopefully I haven't sounded like a complete idiot, and hopefully you guys have actually taken some of what I've said under consideration and listened to it, and hopefully you guys start to improve and start winning tourneys, and definitely improve.
A gift from the goddess.
Good luck, have fun, and GG well played.